Read along. Scientific understanding. Energy and food. This concept of energy being stored in and released from various burnable materials has particular application to food. Children have invariably been told and have learned that they must eat to grow and be healthy and strong, period. Now it is critical important to explain that every moment and function of the body, from active running to simply keeping. Already read this part. That's how you read. Just pick a random page and just get to it. Part 2, connecting maps to the globe. The next step is to guide students in making the connection between the globe maps and the real world. Facilitate children in comparing and contrasting a globe with the world map. Have them find and compare respective continents, oceans, etc. on both the world map and the globe. Although they are likely to be a different scale size, the potential for making this a geography lesson is a self-evident. However, the main point here is to have children understand that a world map is really a flat picture of a round globe. Indeed, some students may note certain differences, especially in northern and southern region. Greenland, for example, appears much larger on the world map than on the globe. Point out that it is impossible to make a flat map of a curved surface without stretching the edges in or shrinking the center. Nevertheless, maps have conspicuous advantages over globes in terms of use. Similarly, have students make the connection between a map of the United States and the United States on the globe, and the same comparison between a map of your state and its location on the globe. What is a map? Really, children should come to the understanding that every map is really a picture looking down on a greater or lesser portion of the globe or portion of the earth. By making a large picture of a small portion of the globe, much greater detail can be included. The much greater detail is even more conspicuous on a local map. Have children examine a local map that includes their particular area. Have them identify on the map streets, parks, and other features that they are familiar with as described in lesson D-3. Then help them pinpoint as accurately possible to the local area on the globe. Some children may want to use a magnifier lens to examine the globe to see if the area is actually shown. Allow them to do so, but explain that the huge difference in size scales does not allow globe markers to include such detail. Still, every map is a picture, looking down at a certain points of the globe Earth. Emphasize as well the correspondence between the globe maps and the real world globe goes both ways. Every point on the globe depicts a location in the real world. Every map of the real world include maps that might draw of the neighborhood. Lesson D-3 depicts a certain location on the globe. The last portion of this lesson is to have children observe that directions on a map correspond to those on the globe and in the real world. Have them contrast, again, a map of the United States and the United States that is seen on the globe. Does the map show the U.S. as upside down or reversed right to the left side from its position on the globe? No. Students should observe that it is the same on the globe. What about the directions of the map then? Guide children, noting that maps are always with few exceptions drawn so that directions on the map correspond to those on the globe. North is toward the top, east is to the right, south is to the down, and west is to the left. Explain and show students how this is in turn enables us to turn maps so that they correspond to directions in the real world. That is, if we turn the map so that the right hand side is toward the location of the rising sun, east, or the left side is toward the setting sun, west, then other directions fall into place accordingly. Most importantly, when the map is oriented accordingly, directions on the map corresponds to directions in the real world. Refer to the activity based in lesson D-3. Students should exercise this lesson in all further activities involving drawing of maps. That is, they should first determine the compass direction in the area they wish to the map. Revisit the activity of using a body as a compass cross described in part 1. They should then draw on their map so that features they depict in the north are put at the top of their map. Additionally, they should add a compass cross in the map showing direction is north toward the top if it has drawn correctly. Of course, you will find maps with compasses crosses indicated north to the right, left to the left, or even down. In other words, it appears that the compass was added as an afterthought. Directions should not be an afterthought. It will greatly strengthen the learning experience if students are required to determine directions first and draw the map accordingly. Questions, discussions, activities to reveal. That's good, bro. How to draw a map. Pray for consistency. I'm out of here.